Peace is a fantastic program. It educates our students to become facilitators, and then a selected group will travel to a country of conflict where they are going to work with the youth in that country and pass on those values that they have learned through their training program and basically through our school and our mission to promote sustainable peace.
The best part of my IFP experience was I was able to step out of my comfort zone and be active and participate in a lot of activities and share my own knowledge or the knowledge that I have learned from the IFP to my friends and the Timorese in order to change people's opinions or their thoughts in a positive way so that they can actually do something in their community in order to create peace and sustainable future.
So one of the great things about IFP, one of the things that makes it really special, is that all students who do IFP get at least 6 months of training from really fabulous speakers. You don't have to go on one of the overseas conferences to benefit from this training and to learn how to be a peace builder. We have a variety of trainers who come in to work with our students from a huge range of organisations in the field of peace building, including organisations such as UNICEF, refugee NGOs, project managers, people who work with the UN Security Council. All of them help work with our students for IFP.
So the first initiative for Peace Conference, the one that I was involved in 2002, focused on the conflict between India and Pakistan over Kashmir. The student facilitators, we were quite nervous, and I remember an intense energy during that week, which I think gripped all of us. And we went through a series of icebreakers, a series of activities with the clear aim not to suppress any of the difficult questions or the hurt that some of them carry within them that the conflict has done to their families, but then to move an understanding where perhaps the group allegiances, the nationality, the I'm from this part, you're from that part, the us and them could be left aside. And the participants really start commonalities in culture, see commonalities in suffering that the conflict has caused on both sides, and just see the human face behind the label of the other, the enemy, the other sides that has been wronging us for so many years.
My teacher came up to me and he said, "Look, Vani, you're from Singapore. I heard you're going to go back home for the summer, so the UWC in Singapore is actually organizing this conference." I think I expected it just to be like a little youth camp or a training of some sort, but it was just exceeded my expectations because the group of speakers that came from all over and the kind of people you are exposed to, the conversations, and then you have youth from India and youth from Pakistan, and as the facilitator I was registering them and talking to them, and they didn't want to room with each other or they weren't even friends to begin with. And to see all of that give way in just a span of 1 week, and by the end of the week they were friends, they were eating together, forging friendships, making travel plans and dancing together, and I know for a fact that even after the conference a lot of these friendships continued, so it wasn't just like a 1 week summer camp thing. So definitely exceeded my expectations.
IFP has brought into me an international understanding about the global concern and how, as a young people, to start shaping the sustainable future and sustainable peace in Timor-Leste.
I suppose it's a well-known activity, and I hear that lots of students are sort of applying to join every year, which is fantastic. But when we started, there was no track record. I wouldn't say there was resistance, but it was hard to convince people at times that this was going to work. And it was also a political risk potentially for the college. And particularly around 2002, the conflict was flaring up again in Kashmir just around that time. We did, in our preparations for the conference, we invited both the Pakistani and the Indian ambassadors to speak to us on separate occasions about the conflict. So for us as the facilitators to learn more, and those were very critical moments because we've really felt the cold political shoulder. So you felt that, you know, this was going a little bit beyond fundraising for an orphanage or all the other wonderful things that UWC does, but this was somewhat of a step further into something more political, potentially more risky as well. But Initiative for Peace always struck me as an extremely powerful idea. This notion of bringing people face to face and focusing on the common humanity. To me, that's the very powerful core idea of Initiative for Peace.
We would like people to support the program, and if they could become actively involved in any capacity, that would be a fantastic thing to do. And I think it will not just benefit our students, but it will benefit many people around the world.
IFP is a really life-changing experience for me.
IFP to me is about conversation.
IFP to me is where facilitators and delegates learn a lot from each other.
IFP is expanding horizons and changing perspectives.
IFP to me is where the UWC motto comes to life.
IFP is something that develops my personality.
IFP to me is peaceful.
IFP for me is life-changing.